Hello, and welcome to the Thematic Intelligence podcast. At GlobalData, Thematic Intelligence, we track over 100 tech, industry, ESG, and macro themes impacting all major sectors. I'm Rory Gopsill from GlobalData's Consumer Division, and today I'm actually joined by Hannah Cleland, Senior Consumer Analyst at GlobalData, to discuss the clean label theme and ultra-processed foods. Together, we're going to explore what the clean label theme is and the associated consumer trends, and we'll also explore ultra-processed foods and potential innovation opportunities. So thank you very much for joining me today, Hannah.
Oh, thank you, Rory. I think let's get straight into it. First of all, with clean label, it's such a broad-ranging movement. Everybody has their own kind of ideas. So I think it's important that we first start with how GlobalData actually defines clean label.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing to say is that, regrettably, there's no legal definition for what a clean label product is. Parameters are somewhat subjective, but nevertheless, at GlobalData, we define clean label as a more consumer-friendly label, i.e., one that's easier to understand. And clean label is also about products having more natural ingredients and fewer additives. And additionally, it's an important consideration for supply chain management, because it relates to the growing consumer trend of highlighting sustainably and ethically sourced ingredients. The clean label trend can also be viewed as part of the broader health and wellness movement, and that's because of its emphasis on healthier, more natural products. Those are all important factors because a greater number of consumers in both mature and emerging markets are becoming increasingly conscious about the products that they consume.
So on that note then, from the consumer's perspective, how would you say that consumers typically perceive the clean label concept?
Consumers typically, they connect with the concept of clean label because they want their products to be more natural, and therefore attributes like preservative-free and real ingredients are valued and associated with clean label marketing. And to underline this point, let's take European consumers as an example of this and see what kind of things they associate with products that market themselves as natural. So according to our Q3 2021 Global Consumer Survey, 60% of European consumers associated preservative-free with the natural claim, 55% associated real ingredients with a natural claim, and 49% associated free from synthetic ingredients with a natural claim. So the trend we can see there is that natural creates images in the minds of consumers, and that reflects one of the main thrusts of the clean label theme, which is about promoting cleaner, more natural products by minimizing artificial chemicals, etc.
Yeah, so some of the kind of things you touch on there, those perceptions to me speak to certain kinds of consumer mindsets. Do we know which consumers in particular are more concerned with the clean label concept?
Well, because there isn't a standard definition, it is hard to quantify. But what we are doing at GlobalData is tracking the amount of attention that consumers are paying to the ingredients in their products as part of a range of ways in which we monitor consumer sentiment in our consumer survey program. And we also track health perceptions around certain ingredients and the appeal of certain ingredients such as probiotics and insect extracts, etc., in specific product categories. And these surveys can help us understand how consumers in different markets view ingredients and how they value information about ingredients. So, for instance, European consumers, going with European consumers again, they actually are less likely to pay attention to which ingredients are used in food and drinks products that they consume than other regions. So 64% of European consumers pay a very high or high amount of attention to the ingredients used in the food and beverage products they purchase, compared to 70% in Asia and Australasia. That could be attributed to stricter regulation in Europe and more complacent or trusting attitudes towards food safety and quality.
So is it safe to assume then, talking about this level of attention, that it also tends to change at category level as well as demographically?
At a category level, clean label demand is often stronger, where the primary motivation for consumption is better health. So, for example, we know that many consumers are more concerned about eating processed food in plant-based products than in indulgence categories like snacks and confectionery. Reformulated products that are trying to achieve a healthier or more clean label status can fail due to consumer perceptions that the healthier or free from alternative will compromise the taste, the flavor, and the texture. And recently there have been a number of examples of this in categories trying to reformulate in order to meet sugar reduction targets and HFSS guidelines. So most recently in 2023, Mondelez ended production of a Cadbury's bar with 30% less sugar that was launched in 2019 because of insufficient demand.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. It certainly gives brands a lot to consider in terms of where their reformulation priorities should be. And now, of course, we have the hot topic of ultra processed foods, or UPFs, which have been given their kind of highly artificial characteristics, are in some ways the antithesis of clean label goods. A little bit of background if you're unfamiliar as a listener. UPFs have been a mainstream part of many countries' diets since the mid 20th century, but it's only really in the last year or so that the industry is taking notice of the issues and the challenges surrounding it. So, in late February, the results from the largest review into UPF research so far made headlines, revealing up to 32 non communicable diseases potentially linked to UPFs. But the kind of caveat with the report is that it acknowledges several limitations still to the studies. So I think it's going to remain a heavily debated topic this year, particularly as the lines are so blurred between what is considered ultra processed and not. So again, much like the concept of clean label, it lacks clear boundaries and legal definitions.
Yeah, I do agree. It's an incredibly hot topic for the industry. There's a lot of negativity and uncertainty surrounding UPFs. So, flipping this on its head, where do you see the opportunities for clean label as a more positive reinforcement on product ingredients rather than a focus on UPF?
Well, the kind of key challenge for FMCG brands is that processed and ultra processed foods are designed to be more durable and accessible than completely natural products. So I think products with a longer shelf life, but also greater nutritional value, are going to be an important focus in the near future. Consumers are typically less likely to perceive canned, dried, and frozen products as good quality compared with fresh or chilled. So achieving a longer shelf life that will positively contribute towards less waste and also positively impact on consumer health. And of course, while also minimizing unnatural ingredients or preservatives, that is going to be a real opportunity for innovation.
And what kinds of innovation have we been seeing in the industry along these lines?
Some recent breakthroughs that we've picked up on at GlobalData include things like shelf-stable probiotics in yogurt and milk, also natural ingredients such as citrus fiber that can replace a variety of additives while also supporting gut health, or even starches derived through natural sources like rice and tapioca that extend shelf life, reduce fat, and are allergen-free. So all of these kind of exemplify how important functional benefits can be achieved through ingredients that have a better kind of clean label halo perception from consumers.
Okay, so with all that in mind, what do you see as the future for clean label and UPFs?
Well, as we've already said, consumers don't currently have that clear definition of what clean label means for them, and even less so what ultra processed really means. Our survey in early 2024 found that just 20% of consumers in key markets claim to know exactly what ultra processed food means, distinct from just processed food. So both the clean label and the UPF concept have been born from a desire to create more healthy, sustainable food systems, but there is room to carve out a clear category definition that can be used to educate consumers and also win at shelf. So in terms of the future, clean label will increasingly be influenced by advancing technology that allows natural, minimally processed products that near or same level of accessibility which ultra processed foods enjoy, while also creating less waste and ultimately challenging consumers' perceptions of what clean label can actually be. And in addition to reformulation, so that kind of product development innovation, some manufacturers and also retailers and food service operators are introducing technologies that improve efficiency, safety, quality, and freshness. So things like AI analytics and problem-solving tools, vertical farming, refeed technology, and infrared kind of freshness scanners. So you can see how from this, delivering clean labels will ultimately be the responsibility of the entire supply chain.
All right, well, lots of interesting predictions there. Thank you very much, Hannah. Thank you all for listening. please be sure to check out our new thematic report on clean label in consumer goods and our recent industry insights reports on scrutinising ultra-processed foods. These are on our intelligence centres and our report store, and you can find the relevant links in the description. See you next time.